My sister made it her mission to ruin my life. She lied to my parents, tried to steal my boyfriend, and spread vicious rumors at work, but I played the long game, gathered the receipts, and made sure everyone saw the real her. Now she's behind bars and I'm finally free. I have an older sister. Let's call her Amber. We're about a year and a half apart, and growing up, we were inseparable. Like, wear the same dress, make friendship bracelets together, have sleepovers in each other's rooms, kind of close. We used to call each other forever besties, and my childhood brain really believed we'd grow up and live next door to each other and raise our kids together. But somewhere along the way, something shifted. I don't know if it was puberty, high school, or just Amber realizing she could get attention easier than me, but she started becoming cold. Not all at once. Just little things at first. She'd roll her eyes when I talked about something I was excited about. She'd accidentally tell our parents I got a B on a test I was insecure about. She started talking behind my back, even to my own friends. And here's the kicker, Amber is our parents' golden child. Always has been. She has this ability to be absolutely fake in front of adults and still come across as sweet and put together. Meanwhile, I'm just me. Not rebellious or anything, just average. But no matter what I do, I always seem to be compared to her and come up short. One of the first big betrayals I remember happened when I was in 10th grade. I worked so hard on the science project with a partner, and we ended up getting the highest grade in the class. I was actually proud of myself, which wasn't a common feeling. And then out of nowhere, Amber told our parents that I cheated. She said she saw me copying stuff from online and claimed I manipulated my partner into doing all the work. It was a complete lie. But you know what happened? My parents believed her. I ended up getting grounded, and my project grade was called into question even though my teacher tried to vouch for me. It was humiliating. I cried for days, and Amber just walked around the house like nothing happened. Like she didn't just ruin the first thing I was proud of in years. Things just escalated from there. Every time I made a new friend, somehow Amber would find a way to insert herself. And not in a sisterly way. She'd get weirdly close with them, overshare, then eventually turn them against me. By junior year, I had like 2 friends I actually trusted, and even they were cautious around her. The worst part? Boys. I know this sounds so petty, but every time I so much as mentioned liking a guy, Amber would go out of her way to flirt with him. It was like a game to her. I can think of at least 3 guys I really liked who ended up ignoring me completely and getting involved with her. I wish I was exaggerating. One of them literally ghosted me mid-conversation after a party and then showed up to school the next week holding Amber's hand. And before you ask, yes, I confronted her. So many times. But she always brushed it off. You're being dramatic, I can't help it if they like me instead, or my personal favorite, stop being so insecure. Like, yeah, I'm insecure, but maybe that's because you sabotage literally everything that makes me happy? I've talked to my parents. Multiple times. Their response is always, you girls need to get along, or worse, Amber didn't mean it like that. Apparently, I'm the oversensitive one. Or jealous. Or paranoid. They never take my side. Ever. So, fast forward to now. I'm in a relationship. Like a real one. Not a high school crush, not a situationship, an actual, mature, loving relationship with a guy I genuinely see a future with. Let's call him Noah. We met at work about a year ago and became friends first. He's kind, funny, supportive. He actually listens to me and remembers things I say. He's everything I ever wanted in a partner. And for the first time in years, I was genuinely happy. But of course, Amber found a way to worm her way in. She met him at a family barbecue a few months ago. I introduced him as my boyfriend, and from the moment he shook her hand, I knew. I knew that look on her face. That slight tilt of her head, the fake smile, the way her eyes narrowed just a bit when he looked at her. I knew she was going to try something. At first, I gave her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she had changed. Maybe she finally understood boundaries. Spoiler alert, she hadn't. Over the next few weeks, she started texting him. Just casual stuff at first, memes, links to music. OMG, I saw this and thought of you. I didn't even know she had his number until Noah mentioned it. I asked him to stop replying unless it was important. He agreed. He even showed me the messages, and to his credit, he wasn't being flirty back. He was polite, but distant. I appreciated that. But Amber wasn't getting the hint. She started showing up at places she knew we'd be. Like full-on coincidence stalking. She ran into us at a movie theater 30 minutes from her apartment. Then again at a small coffee shop I'd only told a few people about. At a friend's party, she cornered Noah when I went to the bathroom and told him I'd cheated on my last boyfriend. Another lie, obviously. Thankfully, he didn't believe her. He told me about it as soon as we got home. But still, how is this okay? The final straw happened 2 days ago. Amber posted a picture on her Instagram story. Just a mirror selfie, casual outfit, but the caption said, "He looked at me like I was his entire world. Too bad he's taken." With a winky face. I know she was talking about Noah. I showed him. He was grossed out, blocked her, and told me he's 100% committed to me and that none of her behavior is okay. I trust him. I really do. But I'm just tired. Tired of always looking over my shoulder. Tired of feeling like nothing in my life is truly mine. Tired of watching my parents defend her while she actively destroys my peace. And now I don't know what to do. I feel like if I confront her again, it'll just backfire. If I go to my parents, they'll gaslight me into believing I'm overreacting again. I've even considered cutting her off completely, but I don't know how to do that without setting off World War III in my family. So here I am, writing this post. Not even sure what I'm hoping for. Validation? Advice? Just someone to believe me for once? Because right now, I feel like I'm screaming into a void. Since writing my last post, I've read every single comment and message I got, and honestly, thank you. For real. Just knowing that I'm not crazy and that people actually see Amber for what she is, that validation hit harder than I expected. But things have only gotten weirder. After Noah blocked her, I thought maybe she'd back off. Maybe the embarrassment of getting rejected would knock some sense into her. But no. Amber doesn't lose. At least, not in her mind. She's always had this need to win, no matter what the cost is. She plays this twisted game where if she can't have something, she'll at least make sure no one else can either. Especially if that someone else is me. I didn't tell my parents about her trying to sabotage my relationship. I was so done with the whole "don't pit your sister against yourself" speech they always pull. I didn't want to hear how I was jealous or reading too much into it. I just stayed quiet. But of course, she told them. She played the victim, said she was just trying to get to know him and that Noah misunderstood her friendliness. She even cried. Full-blown tears. Claimed I turned my boyfriend against her and accused her of being a homewrecker. And guess what? My mom actually said, "You should be happy your sister wants to be close to your boyfriend. Isn't it great when family gets along?" I laughed. Out loud. I think I lost a few brain cells in that moment. So now I'm the villain in this weird little story she's spinning. I'm the one who's keeping secrets, who's turning people against her, who's letting a guy come between family. Meanwhile, she's out here behaving like she's the main character in some CW drama, acting like she's innocent and misunderstood. Noah's been amazing, though. He's even started avoiding events where he knows she'll be just to keep the peace. But it's gotten to the point where I feel like I'm hiding in my own life. Like I have to edit myself to avoid drama, walk on eggshells, pretend everything's fine when it's so obviously not. A few days ago, I found out she went to one of my friends, someone who barely even knows her, and started asking really personal questions. Stuff like, do they ever fight? Has he ever said anything bad about me? Like she was collecting dirt or something. I only found out because my friend thought it was weird and told me. She's digging, and for what? To catch Noah slipping? To make me look bad? To paint me as some evil girlfriend so she can swoop in? This isn't just sibling rivalry anymore. This feels like warfare. And here's the part that's messing with my head the most. I miss her. Not this version of her, the manipulative, jealous, fake one. I miss the little girl I used to sneak Oreos with under the blanket. I miss our late-night talks and our dumb inside jokes. I miss feeling like I had someone on my team. I don't know when she stopped being my sister and started being this. But I mourn her. I really do. And I don't know if I can keep doing this. I don't want to lose my family, but I'm starting to think I might have to lose her to keep my sanity. Noah says he'll support whatever I decide. Whether I want to go no contact, call her out publicly, or just ignore her until she gives up. But deep down, I know Amber. She doesn't give up. She escalates. I can feel it. I don't even think she wants Noah. I think she just wants me to lose him. That's how it's always been. She doesn't want what I have, she just doesn't want me to have it. So now I'm stuck. Do I cut her off completely and become the bad guy in everyone's eyes? Do I confront her and risk her spinning it into some story where I'm the insecure, overreacting sister again? Or do I just stay quiet and hope she gets bored? I don't know. I'm emotionally exhausted, constantly anxious, and just trying to hold on to the little happiness I've finally found. This isn't sustainable. Something's going to give, and I'm scared it's going to be me. Update 1. Hey Reddit. So, I took your advice. I documented everything. And I wish I could say this ended with a good cry, a hug, and some mutual understanding. But no. This rabbit hole goes so much deeper than I thought. After I posted last, I had this weird gut feeling that Amber wasn't done. Like, I could feel her circling. And even though I was tired and drained, I couldn't just sit there anymore while she kept screwing with my life. So I got petty and methodical. I made a separate email. I started writing everything down, dates, screenshots, voice notes, everything I could catch. And holy sh*t, the amount of red flags I missed? Embarrassing. Let's rewind. 3 weeks ago, Noah got a weird message from a burner Instagram account. It said, "You should know who you're really dating. Ask her about Jack." Jack was my ex. We dated in college. It ended because of distance and we just weren't compatible, no drama at all. Noah knows this. So he laughed it off, showed me the message, and we assumed it was a troll. Guess who's taken a few graphic design courses? Yeah, Amber. But wait, it gets worse. I started reaching out to people Amber had gotten close to over the past year. Like mutual friends, old classmates, even one of Noah's coworkers she randomly followed after the barbecue. I played dumb. Asked them if she'd ever mentioned me or Noah or anything weird. And every single one of them had a story. One guy said she told him Noah was cheating on me and that I was too fragile to handle the truth, so he should keep an eye on me. Another said Amber hinted I was emotionally unstable and probably going to mess it all up soon anyway. One girl, someone I hadn't spoken to in months, said Amber straight up told her that Noah and I were already on the rocks and he was planning to break up with me soon. Like, how do you even respond to that? Oh, but here's where it becomes actual Lifetime movie material. One night Noah and I were out for dinner, and when we got back to his apartment, there was an envelope taped to his door. Just a plain white envelope. Inside were printed photos. Of me. Walking to class. Getting coffee. Sitting on the bus. Alone. Creepy, right? I felt sick. My stomach dropped so hard I nearly threw up. Noah immediately wanted to call the cops, but I told him to wait. I had a hunch. So the next day, I went to my friend's place and borrowed her baby nanny cam. Tiny, discreet, motion-activated. I set it up in my room hidden behind a bookend on my shelf. I left it running for a few days whenever I went out. I didn't expect anything, really. Just paranoia. But then, boom. Caught. In. 4K. Amber came into my room. She used the spare key our parents gave her in case of emergencies. She looked around, opened my drawers, took pictures of random stuff, my journal, my skincare products, even my freaking birth control. Then she did something I still can't believe. She took one of my hoodies, the one Noah gave me, and held it up to her face. Smelled it. Then put it on. Walked around in it like she owned the place. Then she sat on my bed and started scrolling through her phone, laughing to herself. I still get chills thinking about it. I showed the footage to Noah. He was livid. Like silent rage, white-knuckle type of livid. I'd never seen him like that before. He asked me if I wanted to go to the police, but I hesitated. I know how this works. It's just a sister, she's not dangerous, it's a family dispute. No one's going to take it seriously unless something actually happens. So I decided to be strategic. I backed up the footage. Uploaded it to a drive. I took screenshots, collected timestamps, even went and talked to our apartment security to see if they had footage of her entering the building. They did twice, during times I wasn't home. Then I set a trap. I told my mom, casually, that Noah and I were thinking of getting engaged soon. Total lie, but I knew she'd tell Amber. And oh boy, that set off something. The next day, Amber called me. Crying. Said she needed to talk. So I met her at a coffee shop. She wore my hoodie. Sat there like nothing was wrong. Told me she was worried about me, that she thinks Noah's manipulating me, that she's concerned I'm isolating myself from the family. She literally said, I'm scared he's brainwashing you. Girl, you tried to frame me for cheating. You sent stalker-level photos to his door. You broke into my room. But I didn't say any of that. I just nodded, let her talk. And then at the end I said, you know what? You're right. I think we should all sit down as a family. You, me, mom, dad, and Noah. And just clear the air. I've got a lot to say. She looked like she swallowed a lemon. Now I'm planning the showdown. I've got the evidence. The texts. The photos. The footage. I'm done being the quiet, scared little sister. If she wants war, she's going to get it. And I'm not pulling punches anymore. Update 2. Hey Reddit. This is the last update. The final one. The one where everything finally burns to the ground. Last time I told you I was planning a sit-down with the family, me, Amber, my parents, and Noah. I had all the evidence prepped. Everything backed up and bookmarked. I was ready to confront this head-on. The night of the family talk, we met at my parents' house. My mom was overly cheerful, like she thought she was about to mediate a fun little sibling spat. My dad just looked tired. Amber? She was smug. Wore my hoodie again just to prove a point. Noah stayed calm, but I could feel him vibrating next to me. We sat down. I let my parents talk first. My mom said something like, "We're all family, we should be supporting each other, not accusing each other." I nodded and said, "Totally. That's why I want to show you all what's been going on." And then I pulled up the evidence. The texts. The photos. The edited messages. The nanny cam video. Amber's face dropped. At first, my parents looked genuinely shocked. My dad asked her if it was true. Amber just blinked, frozen. My mom stuttered, "There must be an explanation." And then it happened. Amber snapped. She went full victim mode. Said I was stalking her. That I edited the footage. That I manipulated Noah. And then she stood up and stormed out. I thought that would be the end of it. That at least now my parents would see. But nope. My mom followed her. And my dad turned to me and said, "You didn't have to humiliate her like that." Lost. I stood up and said, "She's been harassing me for months. She broke into my room. She tried to break up my relationship. She could have gotten me fired. And you're worried about her embarrassment." We left. I was furious. Noah held my hand the whole ride back. And I remember shaking so hard I couldn't even speak. But I wasn't done yet. Turns out neither was Amber. Because within 2 days she told our extended family that I was mentally unstable. That I was stalking her, that I had an unhealthy obsession with her. She told them I was faking everything, that I was trying to frame her because I was jealous. Some of them believed her. I got calls from 2 aunts asking if I needed help. One uncle blocked me. She even tried to email my work supervisor anonymously with screenshots of out-of-context texts trying to make me look unhinged. Luckily, my boss is a solid human being and forwarded it to HR and me asking if I was okay. I showed them the entire situation, including the police report I had just filed that morning. My job is safe. But it shook me. So I went nuclear. I took screenshots of everything. All the messages. The stalker photos. The fake IG accounts. I compiled it into a neat little Google Drive. Then I dropped it in the group chat with our extended family. No caption. Just, "Since I've been accused of lying and stalking my own sister, here's what's actually been going on. Read and decide for yourself." Silence for about 20 minutes. Then one cousin wrote, "Holy sh*t." And then it exploded. Amber got called out hard. People started privately messaging me with apologies, saying they had no idea. A few even cut contact with her completely. Suddenly the golden child wasn't looking so shiny anymore. And then, because apparently this girl has no shame, Amber tried one last Hail Mary. She went to one of Noah's friends, who she'd flirted with before, and told him I was cheating. Said she had proof. Tried to convince him to tell Noah so we'd break up. Only problem? That friend already knew everything and was helping me gather evidence. So yeah, caught. Again. But this time, she didn't stop at just slander. She tried to mess with Noah's car. Like, physically tamper with his car. He noticed something was off with his brakes and took it in. The mechanic said it looked like someone tried to loosen something intentionally. They couldn't prove it was her, but security footage from the garage showed Amber's car pulling in the night before. That was it. We got a lawyer. We handed over everything. The harassment. The break-in. The emails to my job. The attempted vehicle tampering. And yeah, we pressed charges. She was arrested a week later. It wasn't dramatic. She didn't scream. Just stared at me like I'd betrayed her. But honestly, I didn't feel guilty. Not even for a second. Because I gave her chances. I tried to reason. I stayed quiet for so long. And she burned every single bridge herself. Yeah? She's facing a couple serious charges. The break-in and digital harassment were enough to get her probation, but the attempted tampering with the car? That took it to a whole other level. She's being sentenced, and it's likely she'll serve some actual time. My parents? They're doing damage control. Suddenly they're calling me, texting me, saying they didn't know it was that bad. That they just wanted peace. That they love both their daughters. But I'm done. I didn't respond. I blocked them. No contact. They don't get to act innocent when they watched this happen for years. When they gaslit me every time I cried. When they told me I was overreacting while Amber slowly destroyed me from the inside out. Right now, I've got two amazing best friends who stuck by me through the whole thing. And Noah? He's still here. Still solid. He said he has something planned soon, and based on the way he's been acting, I think he might propose. And for the first time in years, I feel safe, peaceful, loved, not because I got revenge, but because I finally chose myself. Thanks for listening, Reddit. Final update: 1 year later, I chose peace and I don't regret it. Hey Reddit. It's been a year. A full, messy, healing, beautiful year. And I think I'm finally ready to close this chapter for good. After Amber's arrest, things unraveled fast. She pled guilty, too much evidence to fake her way out. The break-in, the harassment, the car tampering, it was undeniable. She got some time. Not a life sentence, but enough to knock her off the golden pedestal she'd been placed on her whole life. My parents tried to act surprised, like they hadn't watched her bully and sabotage me for years. They called, texted, even guilt-tripped me. She's still your sister. You should forgive her. I didn't respond. I haven't since that day. I went no contact and never looked back. Amber never reached out. Which is fine. Because I don't need an apology, I needed peace. And now I finally have it. Noah and I got married a few months ago. Just us, our closest friends, and the ocean. No drama. No flying monkeys. Just love. He's my safe space. He stood by me when my own blood didn't. And now we have a daughter. Her name is Grace. She's tiny and perfect in ours. And every time I look at her, I feel something I never thought I'd have: safety, love, wholeness. No sabotage, no secrets, just peace. I wish I could say my parents changed, that they own their part. But no, they still reach out through extended family. I still get those "we miss you" messages. But I've learned something important. Closure isn't always an apology. Sometimes it's blocking the number and walking away. My circle is small now: Noah, my two best friends, and Grace. That's it. That's all I need. Amber? I don't hate her. I don't wish her pain. I just don't want her near my peace. Ever again. I'm not sharing this update for drama. I'm sharing it for anyone stuck in a toxic family dynamic, wondering if it's okay to leave. If it's okay to choose yourself. It is. You don't owe loyalty to people who use love as leverage. You don't owe forgiveness to someone who never asked for it. You are allowed to protect your peace even from your own family. This is the last time I'll post about this. Not because it doesn't matter, but because it no longer controls me. I'm free. I'm healing. And I'm finally happy. Thank you, Reddit, for being here when it felt like no one else was.